Alright, welcome to this tutorial on making a lace. I did not make this top here, credit to that person. They did make the lace, but not this lace here. I made this lace on this one here as an example, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the lace here has got a certain pattern that it goes through the loop holes here, and this is the pattern I want to use. And if you look at the bottom, you can see that both of the on the bottom, both of this is out. I don't have no twist to it. Not both, but this one long across the bottom here, it's out. I know that it's not, weaving in and out. Another thing in mind here, as you can see, when it's done, at the top it goes into the loop. All right, instead of it, vice versa. All right, with that in mind, we'll go ahead into the front view here, and I'm going to go ahead and hide a few things. And this lace here, and when I look at this here, these loopholes, there's 10 on each side, so I'm going to keep that in mind, and we're going to select the flat edge mode here, and we're going to use a polyline. I'm going to select somewhere on the top of this hole, hold the shift key and snap, then let go of the shift key, tap the space bar until it goes straight down, and I'm going to go right across from this bottom one about right here. So if I click and just validate, I just want to about get that length right there. Alright, I know it's got 10 eye holes here on each side, so I'll go to the vertex modeling, and I'm going to increase smoothing, and when I do that, you'll see the points over here, they'll start climbing. Alright, I'm going to overdo it because that way if I screw up and I don't come up with enough, I'd rather have enough than I can just delete what I don't want to use. If it quits climbing on you, you need to collapse DG and try this again. Alright, 12 is good enough, so collapse DG. And we'll bring one approximately to this side here. Control C, Control V that. Alright. And we'll go ahead and select both these, right click and group. And we're going to go ahead and hide that one right there, and we'll select here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and scale this one up a little bit. Might need to go in the orthographic view to scale this up. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because of the video. If you can't see it very well, there's an option down on the right hand side of the video. When you're watching it, it should say full screen. And I'm just making everything a little bit bigger than normal, and I can scale this down a little bit later. Alright, keep in mind, we're going to start here, and I'm going to weave this in and out. And we're going to use the line here. Well, we're not going to actually weave in and out yet here, but we're just going to give this illusion that I am. So use a straight polyline here. And I'm going to hold the shift key and snap to this point. And I'm going to skip down every other one when I crisscross back and forth. So I hold the shift key, snap. So I'm going to skip this one and come down here and snap. And I'm holding the shift key every time I do this. So once you get going here, it's pretty quick. And when I get down this last one, I'll let go of the shift key, and I'm going to go directly across here. I'll hold the shift key to snap to it just to show you. Then I'm going to come up to this one here. I'll hold the shift key and snap, then I'll go back up it. We're going to go one way, then we're going to go the other way. And we're going to validate it. If you don't need that, we'll delete that, and we'll bring this back over. Now this one's still flat, and it don't have no depth like this other one back here, so we're going to need to get some more points. So we'll select point mode, Control A, and vertex modeling, and use the chamfer. Now this thing's going to do some weird stuff on you, so you just got to eyeball it and see what's going on here. And I'm going to set this to number 1. As you can see, they look like some straight up and down lines, and if I move it this way, you can see how it moves. The lines are getting smaller and the lines are getting thicker, or longer and shorter, I meant, not thicker. And the longer they are, the more depth we're going to have, because I'm going to be twisting these around, and this is going to be more depth. So you got to keep this in mind while you're doing this. How much depth do you want? Alright, Is that enough depth? And we might need to switch down here, and let's not try crossing these ones right here. You can mess with this one here. I don't know if it'll do any good for you. And we don't want these ones crossing right here for right now. So we'll validate that and collapse DG. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and bring this one over to the side here. As you can see, the line here on the rest of them are straight up and down. This one's got a little bit of angle on it, and that's in the x-axis. I'm going to zero that out. It's going to make it straight up and down. Probably not a real necessity, but you can see this one here, it's zeroed out straight up and down. And we'll do the same one for this one here. Alright. It's really not a necessity that these are kind of lined up right now. If I wanted to line them up to this next one up here, if I wanted to, I don't think you have to. But if you wanted to line these up, you can see this one moving over here. And we'll just copy this one here. Click. We'll paste this value in here, so I'll line that one to that side. And we'll get the value of this one. Copy. That way, if this one was way in and I wanted to match flush with this one, we'll just put this one in here. And I click over here, bring it across. Alright, now I'm going to need to turn this, and this line here is actually going to be the lace itself. So I need to twist this in an angle that's kind of like this one right here. Well, I'm in edge mode, and I'll right click, and I'll find out which way that's going to go. I'll hold the shift key to snap it. Alright, now it's pointing in. This is what I want. Alright. I'm going to zoom in here. And if I went the other way, it would probably not be it would be the wrong way. That'd be all twisted up and it'd be the wrong way. I want it this way. So we'll work our way down here. Right click, drag, shift key. I'm in this universal manipulator mode, if you're wondering. And there's this little, on this widget here, there's a little these little handles, and you got to grab them and just twist them around. Right click, drag, and hold the shift key, and we'll work our way down. And we're getting ready to switch over to the other side here. And I want to keep in mind this one on the this one over here. I'm looking right here. I got just one of the edges on the outside. Okay, it doesn't loop in, it doesn't twist in and out. I need to probably select this eye here because that'll keep us centered right there. Alright, I need to find out which ways this go to select it out. Alright, that one looks okay. If I switch it that way, it's not out. It's got to go that way. Alright, then the next one's going to be a factor too. I'm going to select it here. I need to find out which way this needs to go. Alright, I'm going to select here. And that looks alright, because if I switch the other way, I'll just do that to show you. If I switch this way, as you can see right here, these two lines are close together, and I need to separate them there because it's going the wrong way. So let's keep this going to the right. Everything's going to be all uniform. Always to the right. Hard to see in the video, but they're separating the lines here. That's where the laces will make sure they don't touch too much when they're crisscrossing back and forth. And we'll work our way up. I guess I'm not going to pause the video just to make sure. Some people they don't like the video pause because sometimes they think they missed something. I know it's going to be a little boring, but it won't take too long, and we'll just go ahead and finish this up without skipping around. Alright, now keep in mind here, I'm looking at this other one. I might change my mind here in a little bit. As you can see, this one points in and this one points in. So what do I need to do? Do I need to switch this one around? Let's see. pointing the same way. I think that's what I need to do. Alright, so the tops and the bottoms are a little different, so the sides are pretty much uniform. I might change my own mind later, but we'll take a look at it right now. Like I said, I've been messing with this, and there's actually a lot of ways that you can do this. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hide the lace here. Not the lace, but there we go. And we're going to bring this one over here. And we're going to rescale this back. Let's bring this to the front. Now I'll bring this to the front of the high spots, which would be the breast area. I don't want it back flush because I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing, so I'll bring this out just a little bit. And I'll kind of center it, and I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Alright. Now for a test here, I can also do this. I'm going to go ahead and use the thickness tool just to see something, and we'll validate that. And we can bring it into the mesh, and I'm just looking at this hole here. I mean, is this you know, how much depth do I want? Maybe no. Maybe I want more depth. Maybe I can do this also by just going in and out like this. That's going to be a factor right there. You can do the depth like that. It's good to keep a copy of this line. It's copy and paste your line in case you mess up at this point. But let's say this is going to be it, and this is what I want to use my depth at. And we're going to start at the bottom hole in point mode here. And I'm going to go ahead and open this top up here, and I'm going to need to hide this right here. We're going to work on the loops here. And I got edge mode. I'm going to right click. And before I do that, I wanted to show you something, because this is what I will need to do. Let me go ahead and hide the rest of this here. When I subdivide this and there's not enough points in here, it'll get too rounded. So I'm going to go at this time, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some points. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and select edge mode. This is option if you want to do this, and this, you can see it selected all the edges over on that side. Hold the shift key, and it selected all the edges on this side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Lines tab, then I'm going to use Lines Tessellation, and it's going to put a point directly in the middle of the two outer points. Alright, this will make it a little bit not so smooth when it, you know, when you subdivide it. That's an option. I'm going to go ahead and I just wanted to point that out to you, and I kind of think it's a little bit better like this, and if you want to add some more, you can do it again. Alright, with that said, we'll just switch this back up here. I said I wasn't going to pause the video, but I did, and the only reason why I did that is to save my work and save one of the videos, just to be on the safe side, but I did nothing different. So we're going to be left off from here, basically the same area that I paused the video. You'll probably not see any changes, but anyway, what we're going to do is right click over here. I'm in edge mode, and if you look in the utilities, there's this option called Snap Align. I threw this into my custom palette. You can right click to add this to your custom palette. I kind of like that right here, and I want to center it in one of these holes, or there's no center point to snap to, so I'll center it to the outer edge. So with the edge selected, then I'm going to select Snap Align, and the thing is, you need to go back to the edge that was selected, or come back to the point, this middle point right here, hold the shift key and snap. And we'll hold the shift key and snap over here, and it's going to go right to it. Alright. Now it's going to look a little funny, as you can see right here. I'm going to Control Z that, and we're going to work on one side, then we're going to work on the other side. Alright. So it's best to kind of look around and see what you're doing while you're going along, else you'll have problems, because it's kind of like an optical illusion. So select here, here, and we'll work our way up. You can see this one here looks, it just looks all kind of funny right here. It probably looks real weird in the video. So what I'll just do for right now is I'll just go ahead and scoot this back just a little bit so it don't look so. We'll bring that a little bit, just a little bit closer here so we can see what we're doing. Edge mode. way up. Next one. If you go to the side view, you can usually pretty much get it, but then again, you got to turn it just a little bit, get to that little point right there. I'll switch to this side here a little bit better. I would recommend trying experimenting around with something with not so many holes when you first try it. That way you can see what's going on here. Control Z that, and bring this back over here. Shift key, snap here. Like I said, you gotta look around. This thing here give you a little optical illusion. This one here, this eye here is twisted in, so I gotta move this around, make sure I'm getting right on it. As you can see, it's bringing it right in the middle. Let's look at this one here. You can see it's kind of bringing everything just like I wanted it. And we're going to work this one here. On Shift key. Watch when you're overlapping them, because you'll end up grabbing the wrong one here. Let's bring this one up here. This is my last one that won't be used. And let's go ahead and select this whole side over here. I want to bring this. Let's bring this in a little bit. Maybe this will help us out a little bit. Everything's kind of getting in the way a little bit. Let's see what that's going to do. Shift key. Also go back into the inner corner. Shift key. Yeah, I know it probably looks a little funny in the video, but we're getting there. I gotta turn it just enough because I'll be grabbing some in the background here. Now that's something you don't want to do. So, Shift key. That's why sometimes you want to get a different angle on it. Like I said, you got something you gotta experiment with. Down just a little bit here. There's this leftover one here. Let's bring this one up. Let's Shift key and select here. I just want to bring them some up out of my way because these are not going to be used. I'll delete that one. Delete that one. Not looking too bad. Now I noticed one thing right here. This one goes in like I want it to at the top, but this one goes out. I'm going to need to switch this one around. I kind of thought I did. I need to flip this around. I need to flip it this way. Yeah, I think that's going to work. I'm I'm going to go ahead and delete some of this junk up here so it don't look so bad. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and select one of these points here. I'll bring this back here. Alright, I think it's starting to move along here, so I'll right click and drag these here, and we'll level this down somewhere. And I'll select a point here. And we don't want to weld these together because when we add thickness this could cause problems. So just going to keep these out. Keep an eye on my pattern here. Make sure everything's okay. And the next thing we want to do is let's turn some things on and see what we got going here. And then we're going to take a look at this, and we want to do any kind of adjustment right now if we can to fix it before we go ahead and add thickness to this. I might want to spread this apart. Sometimes when you do things, when you got holes that are all not all uniformed and different, they're off-centered and symmetrical, is out of whack, you gotta be very careful, because when you think you're adjusting one thing on one side, it'll mess up on the other. So I think that's going to be alright. Then we're going to go ahead and add some thickness, and we're going to see how much thickness we need here. I'm going to add just a little bit. And another thing is, you need to find out how many number of points, because if you go over too much, it won't smooth right. So maybe you want to keep it just at, maybe 8 will be fine, and we'll validate that and collapse DG every time that you use thickness. Then when I subdivide it, we'll double select here to just see what's going on here. Then you can kind of see what's going on right here. Now there's going to be some spots that needs to be tweaked, and that's because there's a lot of curvature, and I would highly recommend to give it a little bit of subdivision level. And what we'll do is we'll turn on a soft selection. As you can see right here that it is touching the mesh. So what I can do here is I can just select some of this right here, or I can just go down to subdivision right here, or just take that one off. Let me hit my hotkey here. Let's move this real quick. Let me add the subdivision back up. Sorry for that. And it's basically on this side here, and well, you can do some little bit of tweaking right here. Then you can see how I moved it away. You can see this one here, it's touching a little bit. This ain't too bad for tweaking it. It's just a little bit of adjustment, not a whole lot. You don't have to get carried away here. You could bridge these two together when you're done. You could let's go ahead and make sure, I always make sure this is no subdivision and there's no DG. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close the hole on this. Close all. It's going to close these two here. And if I wanted to go ahead and I can go ahead and bridge these two together here. Pull the shift key and select here, and use this bridge tool to join them. And like I said, the rest of it's just tweaking, but I think y'all get the hint here, and I won't do any more tweaking here. There's a little one right here. I'll just go ahead and get it real quick since it's bothering me. I think it was this one right here. A little bit subdivision, take a look at it. But it ain't too bad. And I think this is going to wrap up this part of the tutorial, and thank you very much.